All right, so just like before, when we were doing our time and heart rate, we're going to first need to select our data, okay? So we're going to click in the box with this time of 0. Can you guys see that better if I zoom in? Okay, so click in the box with time of 0, and notice it highlights it in blue. We need to click and drag, so don't pick up your mouse, so that we can select all of that time data all the way up to 8 hours. And it's increasing by half-hour increments. Okay, so I've got my mouse clicked down. I have not lifted my finger yet. I'm just going to drag to the right so I can go get all those voltage measurements. Okay? So I've got time and I've got the voltage for battery number 3. Is everybody good? Okay, so once you have your data collected, insert chart. I'm going to zoom out some so y'all can see. Now, what in the world? Does anyone have a chart that looks like mine? Cole's got one. Colin, yours is a little different. What does yours look like?
Mine has the same blue line, but mine is like broken.
Okay, I can help you with that. Well, your red line looks funny. Okay, not a big deal. I will show you guys how we're going to edit this chart to be what we want. Okay? So, if you do not have the chart editor on the side, remember how I showed Alexis how to get that? You just click on the ... edit chart. It'll show up for you on the side. Here's what I want you guys to do, okay? This blue line, for some reason, is your time. Okay, we're going to go delete that blue line, all right? So how you do that, click on your blue line, make sure you've got it selected, and your series is time in hours, and we're going to delete that. So go to the Setup tab. So Setup at the top. And notice you've got these different series here where it says time, hour. Click on the ... and we're going to remove that. Okay, so we're going to remove that, and now we only have one line. Does anyone need me to repeat? Okay, so now you only have that one blue line, but what are we missing down here? We're missing a title, and do you have any data on your x-axis? No. Okay, so notice over here, you've got something that says x-axis, right? So I'm going to move my chart out of the way so I can go select my data here in a second. But you see this little waffle next to x-axis? Yeah? Okay, so click on the waffle, and it's going to say, well, what data do you want it to be on your x? Well, I need my time to be on my x. So I'm just going to click and drag all the way down to 8. Does anyone need me to repeat that step? Okay, I'll come check that out here in just a second, Colin. If you hit OK, then it should give you the x-axis. It should give you those values down at the bottom. Okay, so some of you guys are telling me that your line is not a solid line like mine, and you might have like chunks missing or just dots at certain places. That's okay, because we are actually going to take this and we are going to change this from a line chart to a scatter. Okay, so if your chart is selected, we're going to go up here and change this to a scatter plot. So scatter, and that should change that to these blue dots. Did that help, Colin? Yeah? Okay. Now, is our graph done? Does it look done to you guys? Does it have all those 5 components we talked about? What's it missing, Cole? Missing it. Well, it's got a title there, but it's not a very good title. What else is it missing? Labels. Okay, so go to the Customize tab, Chart and Axis Titles. We've got a chart title. We could change that to say, how does time affect battery, whoops, I spelled it wrong, battery voltage, okay, What about, what's our horizontal axis? What's this one need to say? What's the units on our horizontal axis? Time or voltage? Time, very good. So make sure you select horizontal axis. This is time. And Preston, you said that was every half an hour, right? So I'm just going to put time every, half an hour. What about our vertical axis? What should that one read? What is our vertical axis unit? Voltage, good. Okay. Once you've got those two, go into series, and we're going to add that trend line to show it decreasing over time. And then we are good for right now. And I'm going to pause. Okay, so now we are ready to add the other data. I want you guys to go back to the setup tab at the top. So go back to your setup. If we scroll down a little bit, we had our x-axis. And then we have something that says series. And you should have this first series that we already included for battery 3. Right underneath of that, you should have add series. And that's what we need to do. We need to add series for battery 4 and add series for the average. Okay, so we'll go add series, click on that little waffle. And if you're looking at your screen and you don't see the data, you might need to go move your chart out of the way first. Okay, so you just click it, move it out of the way. We're going to go add series. And then we're going to go to here's battery number 4. We're going to click and drag down to get all of our battery data. We're going to tell it OK. And now I've got that data showing up in red. Everybody cool with that? Okay. Go to the customize, go to series, and let's add a trend line that's red for that one. Then we're going to do that exact same thing, but we're going to select the average, which is at the very far right, okay? So you need to move over to the very far right. Here's your average. Again, we're going to click Add Series, click on the little waffle, and I want to select all my averages, tell it OK, and it looks like it added that one in yellow, which is great. I'm going to go Customize, Series, and then add that yellow trend line.
Looking at the video, it seems like it's almost done. Your graph looks really good. You've got your 3 trend lines. The only thing that I'm seeing that could use some clarification is on the legend. So remember, the legend tells us like what we're looking at, and right now it just says voltage and then that 1.61 and 1.607. That is because of how I selected my data. So I'm going to go show you guys how we are going to fix that. Okay, so what we're going to do is first I'm going to move our little graph over here. And under number 3, I'm going to change this word to say, I'll just put battery number 3. And hit this one. We'll change that one to battery number 4. And then the average looks fine. So if you look at the the legend now, it updated that battery number 3, but it didn't change battery 4 or the average. So what we need to do is go back in here and edit our series that we selected, because on the battery number 4, I didn't select that cell. So if you click on this ... next to series and then edit, we just need that to go up 1. So I'm just going to change that to say C9. And now that says battery 4. And then same thing on our average. We'll edit him. And we want to include the cell above it, which is K9. And there we go. So the only other thing I think this graph looks great as it is, and if you turn this in class, I would say great job. This is very acceptable. This has all the components we talked about. If you want to edit this legend, you can go to the legend. You can move position, like if you thought it looked better at the bottom or easy to read there, or on one of the sides, like the left side, you could put it over there. I personally think on the bottom looks the best. And then you can change the font if you wanted to keep that all the same. I don't remember what I had on that font to begin with, but anyways, I think it all looks really good. You can change the text color, but not going to get into all those. You can make it what you want. Otherwise, I think this looks really good. Once you have this made on yours, you will need to go to the last tab, the battery questions, and then you've got just a few questions there to answer about your graph. So I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, just let me know.